Welcome back to Now That's Interesting. Today we're diving into a deeply significant and somber chapter of history, segregation. This topic is crucial to understanding the social fabric and historical context of many societies, particularly in the United States. So, let's explore what segregation was, its impacts, and the lasting legacy it has left behind. Segregation refers to the enforced separation of different racial groups in daily life, whether it be in schools, housing, or public facilities. While the practice has existed in various forms around the world, today we'll focus on the United States, where segregation was legally enforced after the Civil War through laws known as Jim Crow laws. Jim Crow laws, named after a black minstrel show character, were enacted in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. These laws mandated separate but equal status for African Americans, but in reality, the facilities and services provided to them were far inferior to those provided to whites. This affected every aspect of life, from education to transportation and even drinking fountains. The impact of segregation was profound. It not only institutionalized racial discrimination, but also perpetuated economic and social disadvantages for African Americans. Education is one area where this was starkly evident. Black schools were underfunded, overcrowded, and lacked the resources of their white counterparts. This educational disparity had long-term effects on job opportunities and income levels for African Americans. Housing segregation was another critical issue. Redlining, a discriminatory practice by which banks refused loans to black families or confined them to certain areas, created urban ghettos. These neighborhoods often suffered from inadequate public services, poor infrastructure, and a lack of economic investment. The civil rights movement of the 1950s and 60s was pivotal in challenging and eventually dismantling legal segregation. Landmark events, such as the Brown v. Board of Education Supreme Court decision in 1954, which declared state laws establishing separate public schools for black and white students to be unconstitutional, and the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which outlawed discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin, were significant milestones. However, ending legal segregation didn't mean an end to racial disparities. The legacy of segregation continues to affect society today. Economic inequality, disparities in educational outcomes, and systemic racism are part of this enduring legacy. For instance, schools in predominantly black neighborhoods often still receive less funding than those in predominantly white neighborhoods. Similarly, racial profiling and discrimination in the criminal justice system remain pressing issues. Understanding the history of segregation helps us recognize the roots of these ongoing issues and underscores the importance of continuing to strive for racial equality and justice. By learning from the past, we can work towards a future where everyone has equal opportunities regardless of their race. Thanks for joining us on this journey through history. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to Now That's Interesting for more deep dives into fascinating topics. Until next time, stay curious.